Hey everyone, Evan Kirstel. Happy Friday. We made it. Really excited for this discussion with Vittorio Viarengo of VMware. Vittorio, how are you?
I'm doing great and a great pronunciation of my name.
Well,
Congratulations.
thank you. Thank you for the compliment. I love all things Italian, so I'm a big Italy fanatic. But in any case, you're Vice President of Cross Cloud Services at VMware. So describe for the folks, what do you actually do? What's your job at VMware?
If you think of VMware, we have been on this innovation journey for the last 25 years. The first phase was virtualization, like virtualizing data center. Then we brought it up, and with the software-defined data center, which is kind of virtualizing the storage and networking and operating your data center as a private cloud. The third phase of our kind of innovation journey is really making sense of multi-cloud. And so a few years ago, we introduced a portfolio called cross-cloud services that allows our customers to build, manage, run, access, and secure any application across any cloud. So I am responsible for driving that strategy and that narrative.
Well, that's an exciting role. And I think birthday congratulations are in order, not for you, but for VMware. 25 years of innovation at VMware. So that makes you about 35 or
Yeah,
40 because
something
you've been
like
at
that.
this game
Something
for
like
a
that.
while. But describe that journey, not just your journey, but that VMware journey. That's quite a story to tell.
I like to describe it in the words of the customers. If you have you ever been to one of our user conferences?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. A lot
It's
of
a religious
fanatics.
experience because I think VMware is a cornerstone company in the Silicon Valley history, and we have made the career of so many people, and they in turn help our success because
Hmm.
we have over the years, our engineers, I should say, have seen always seen around the corner. What are the main changes that created challenges for our customers and opportunities, and they always figured out ways to create technology that was like 10x better than everything out there. My first time around at VMware, I was a product manager, and
Hmm.
and that feeling of having an engineering team that when you press on that innovation accelerator, just like turn on the turbo boost. It's just amazing. And so I think we have over the years helped our customers solve problems that looked impossible before VMware technologies. And that's I think is continues in VMware, and that's I think the biggest thing that we have done with really help customers change the trajectory of their businesses, and in turns our champions in the account change the trajectories of their careers.
That's fantastic. Well, it's not just clients, but fanatics. That's a wonderful thing to have. Um, and in this journey, you're moving towards the idea of cloud smart, which is a new term of art for me. Maybe explain to us what cloud smart means to you and at VMware.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to pull some of the visual that I provided. If
Sure.
you look at our customers, the previous one have been on this journey for the last 10 years into the cloud, right? So they went cloud first. We're going
Mhm.
to the cloud. That's where the innovation is, where the path of least resistance, where you can build application fast. And that's has been going on for the last 10, 15 years. If you go to the next slide, uh, what happened as customers went to the cloud is that every developer kind of was developers smart, right? They look for path of least resistance, but they can get the most innovation. And so as a result, enterprises have ended up with two or more clouds out there.
Wow.
And many of them are actually in denial. You ask them, hey, how many clouds do you use? And they go, yeah, we're on-prem and AWS. Oh yeah. The business units are using Google, but in general, we just bought a company that uses Azure. So the reality is, when you look at the stats, 85%, 87% of our customers out there use two or more clouds plus the private cloud. And so, go to the next slide. That has created what we believe is the most heterogeneous, more complex environment that IT has ever seen, because each of these clouds bring their own way of managing application, building application, securing application, connecting application. There's just not enough people and skills to go around to manage this complexity. And now if you look in the press, and I'd love to hear your take on this, you start to see a little bit of a backlash, right? The costs are out of control, and now the economy has slowed down a little bit. People are facing with the complexity and cost of this. Because on the next slide, people have, thank you for being my slide master, and customers have described to us this environment as cloud chaos, right? And disparate environment, cost out of control, and as they're trying to migrate existing applications to the cloud, the migration has been costly. And so, and by the way, when we talk about cloud chaos to customers that haven't used that term, so, oh, that's exactly what I am right now. I was talking to a CIO of a Fortune 15 company, an insurance company. And what he said to me was, for the last 10, 15 years, we've gone cloud first. And after all this innovation and building all this front office application, the business is coming to me and it wants me to give them compliance, security, and cost control. I don't even know what these assets are. So that's cloud chaos. And so then the next step is, if you go to the next slide, the idea is that, sorry, there's a little bit of a font problem. So the idea that we believe that to solve these cloud chaos problem, you need a new approach. You need to create a level of abstraction that sits atop the clouds and gives you a unified way to building application, managing application, securing application, and connecting application. We call that cross-cloud services. Some other analysts have been calling that the super cloud. But just like every time, I think in the history of IT, abstraction is the key to unlocking speed and lowering cost. We've seen it with virtualization. We've seen it with, in development environment. How many C low-level assembler and C programmers are out there? Not many. But how many Python and Java developers are there? Many more. So the higher the abstraction, the more people can deal with the complexity. And so, if you go to the next slide, this is long answer, but with some visual to help the audience. If we believe that if you apply this abstraction layer, these cross-cloud services, to solve the problem of multi-cloud complexity, you can achieve cloud smart. And I think that if you go to the next slide, in an essence, cloud smart is the ability to use whatever cloud fits the need of your application at the sustainable cost. That's what cloud smart means to us and to our customers.
Wow, it sounds like cloud brilliant, not just cloud smart, but well done on this vision, because it makes so much sense. You also talk about in some previous podcasts about playing offense versus playing defense. It's an interesting analogy. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, this came from Raghu, our CEO, and I love Raghu. Everybody loves Raghu at VMware. Is our kind of soul of the company, and he talks about this notion that with our portfolio, you can play both defense and offense. So we've been playing offense, meaning when the money was free, with interest rate that's pretty much zero. Companies have been going on this spree of like, okay, let's innovate, let's build these digital experiences, let's become more competitive in the marketplace. And with the economy slowing down, we see customers now trying to retrenching a little bit and playing defense, which means being able to lower their cost, figuring out how to optimize the existing investments. And we believe that our portfolio allows customers to play both defense and offense. So let me give you some example. On the offense side, with our Tanzu portfolio, we allow customers to lower their cost of developing applications across multiple clouds by giving a single place developer can build the application, put it on a pipeline, and that pipeline feeds any clouds out there, any Kubernetes distribution, and then gives IT a way to manage and secure that. And so you can keep innovating and playing offense by building these digital experiences. On the defense side, with our VMware Cloud portfolio, you can start to look at your aging infrastructure and start to upgrade it and optimize it and run it as a cloud with high level of automation. And then on the security side, being able to implement a zero trust environment. And I think that I was thinking about this as I was preparing for this live streaming. And I think that customers and enterprises out there have no choice but to keep playing offense. Because if you stop playing offense, your competition will eat your lunch. And I was thinking, so how do you do that? Because if you're facing economic headwinds and things like that. And then I remember the religion that they entrench in you when you're a product manager. I've been a product manager for 30 years in my career, and the religion that they have you, the Kool-Aid that you drink when you're a product manager is relentless prioritization. So a lot of the leaders of the next wave emerge during downturns. And so my recommendation to customers out there is that if you were going crazy on the offense, building 10 different things, just figure out what is the most impactful and keep going. Keep keeping those developers developing new applications while you figure out how to create a platform engineering team and optimize your environment. But the one thing that you cannot do, you cannot stop. And along the same lines, if you have good developers, pamper the hell out of them, because there are not many of those out there, and those are the ones that make the world go round.
That's amazing. Well, let's talk complexity because you have an incredible view of simplifying the world of cloud services and IT in general. But where do you start on this journey? What's the path like for customers to reduce complexity?
I think that if we all agree that the world is multi-cloud, that seems as a foregone conclusion. I think that you need to start with getting visibility. The first thing you need to know where your assets are if you want to be able to manage and secure them and so on and so forth. So I think the first step is use technologies like our ARIA product. Of course, there are competing products out there. So, but the point is, you need to figure out a model that tells you where your applications are, how much are they costing you, and what is the security posture. So I think to me that's the first step. Once you do that, then the next step is to how do you optimize it, right? So is there a way for you to move your application where it's more cost effective or where you get the most innovation? And so that's where technologies like VMware Cloud are really unbeatable, because our engineering team working with Google, Microsoft, Alibaba, Oracle, all the hyperscalers have ported our secret sauce, which is the vSphere stack, natively running on hardware across all these hyperscalers. And what that allows you to do, it allows you to look, this is really cloud smart, allows you to look at all these clouds as resources. I have all these resources out there, so now how do I use them to fit my business needs? So I'll give you an example. Guide One is an insurance company. They use VMware Cloud on AWS and move 500. They wanted to get out of the business of managing their own infrastructure. They moved 500 applications in 3 months and shut down their data center. So, and get this, no downtime. People in the audience that know vMotion, they know how that works. They basically, once installed VMware Cloud on-prem and on AWS, then it's okay, move this application over, no downtime. That's an example. I'll give you another example. S&P Global, when the war hit in Ukraine, unfortunately, they had a data center in Belarus. So now they wanted to shut down. Like many companies, they got out of those areas, right, with their data centers. They did it in a weekend. They basically
Wow.
deployed the same environment. I forget if it was of Google or one of the hyperscalers. Doesn't really matter because it's VMware Cloud on top. And then they moved those applications and shut them down. So this is the power of having this abstraction layer atop your clouds. It allows you to look at all these clouds as resources. You get visibility of what you have and where you want to go, and then you can use this abstraction layer to be cloud smart, basically.
Incredibly exciting. You guys at VMware move so fast, especially for a big company. It's amazing to see. What are you looking forward to over the next few weeks, months? Obviously, there's a whole raft of events and partnerships out there. But any particular trips or events you're looking
Well,
forward to personally?
I don't want to spoil any news, but I think that we explore our user conference at this point around the corner. It's in August, so we're
Uh-huh.
deep in working hard to prepare both the innovation that we're going to announce and how to tell the story of that innovation. But I think what's most interesting to me is going forward is what is going to be VMware role in supporting this incredible AI transformation that is going to impact every aspect of IT and in turn every aspect of the business. I think that combination, you know, even if you take VMware out of the picture, I think the combination of AI and blockchain, forget about crypto. In a world where AI increasingly will create and generative AI will create a lot of content and artifacts and things. One, how you optimize that process on hardware and software, and that's where VMware can play a big role. And two, what is the marriage between that and blockchain? Because some technology will have to validate that the stuff that is created by a human or created by AI, and what is the authenticity of any artifacts is going to be out there. So that's what I'm most excited in the next few years and see how that evolves. Because just like when the internet and the cloud were created, we could not even imagine the applications. I remember, sorry, I digress a little bit, but I remember in 1996, I'm dating myself. We were you probably remember those days. You were dialing up with a 24 baud modem into the
I
internet,
remember it well. Yeah.
and people were talking about SaaS. I remember I read this article that says one day you'll be able to rent software over the internet, and I was looking at my modem and say, "You gotta be kidding me! I'm gonna rent software over this." But guess what? As the technology evolved, the bandwidth and so on, it became a reality. When cloud happened, you couldn't even imagine the applications. So right now, we're sitting at the beginning of this AI and blockchain transformation going forward. We cannot even imagine the type of applications that will be realized and how they're going to impact. And
Yeah, no, it's the most exciting time in my adult lifetime. I remember two other periods. One when I got my first mobile phone, like a real mobile
oh yeah,
phone. I had my
that's the
first
other one.
GSM phone. That was like, wow, this is something else. And then my first computer as a kid, my home computer. And this moment feels like that. It feels like being a kid again. So thanks for joining. So exciting. Speaking of being a kid again, we talked multi-cloud, but you have multi-guitar going on there in the background. Do you
Yeah,
have a favorite, like a favorite child, or are they all your
I have
children?
all my delusions in full display. No, I'm a amateur musician. I am a trained musician. I am a certified music teacher. But as far as a musician goes, I am a very good clarinet player. That's the instrument that I
Nice.
was trained and all that. but it's not super cool to play the clarinet. And so over the years, I taught myself to play all the other instruments. And mostly these
Oh,
days,
fantastic.
I play. I do. I compose parodies like the MultiCloud anthem that
Right.
then I share with the colleagues, and we make it. I think one of the things about VMware, which is incredible, is the culture, right? It's
Yeah.
the management team encourages us to express ourselves as with our passions of work. So we just celebrated the 25th anniversary, and so we have a company band, and we perform on stage in front of everybody. And so that's part of being part of VMware. It's really cool and refreshing.
It really is, and you're fun and entertaining to chat with. So thanks for joining, Vittorio. Look forward to our
My
next
pleasure. Always a
talk.
pleasure talking to you. Thanks for the great questions. Have a good
Bye,
weekend.
everyone. Thanks for watching. Have a great Friday.